Good times, good times.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Disc Jockey News Virtual Expo Fall 2015. We are in Vagnus Heights. Woo! We are ready to kick things off. For those of you who saw this earlier in the day on Periscope, that meant the internet was holding up. Yay! We are now doing these things, and we're trying to put them out on Periscope so people can watch and such. So we're excited. We're here. We're going to be talking about performance. We're going to be talking about music. We're going to be talking about lighting, and that's all going to be happening tonight in tonight's first night of the Virtual Expo. We're going to jump right into our first segment here because I have got two industry veterans with me today.
The Disc Jockey News Virtual Expo is sponsored by DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool. Top Hits U.S.A, hit music service for radio and professional DJs. Epsilon Professional Lighting and Sound, an experienced and innovative manufacturer of lighting and sound equipment. Promo Only, the industry's #1 source for music and music videos. By OMEZ Professional Lighting. New color, new vision, new OMEZ. Prime Cuts, the #1 service for music for mobile DJs. Sponsored by Chalvet DJ. Value, innovation, performance. Sponsored by PROJECTORGRAM. High quality designs for monograms, logos, and other image projections. ADJ, pure lighting excitement.
Don't laugh, Ron. Don't laugh, Ron. I've got Ron, Ruth, and Mike Lenstra here, and we're going to be diving into our first discussion topic, which is all about wedding music. We actually have people in the crowd over there. There's Jake and Mitch and a few others in the back of the room, and they are going to be coming and joining in on this conversation because, well, eventually we're going to get tired of talking and probably fall asleep, and then they'll push us out of the way and they'll take over. So, but guys, I want to talk about wedding music and starting off your wedding dances. We've been doing a lot of weddings over the years, and my thought is that those first 5 songs, there's a lot that I learn and a lot of information that I can take from those first 5 songs and why I picked my first 5 songs. I wanted to ask, when you start your wedding dances, how do you look at those first songs you play? Ron, let's start off with you.
I don't know that there's any formula to it other than obviously we work with the bride and groom's requests, taking a look at the age group. That's probably the primary thing that we do first is look at that age group. For me, the earlier part of the evening is usually aimed at the older guests because we know that they're probably going to be one of the first ones to leave. So the format may be something a little bit older, like 60s, 70s, and then throughout the course of the evening progress into the more modern top 40 music.
Mike, what are your thoughts, and how do you use that early part of the night?
Okay, ironically, I'm probably completely opposite of Ron. I do have kind of a formula I use. I call it like a 6-8-2. I usually start off the evening with I'll play 6 to 8 fast songs before I do 2 slow songs. I never do more than 2 slow songs just because I don't want to get the evening too slow. But typically, maybe right after the wedding party dance, I try to consult my bride and groom's request list to see kind of what's in there that I know is going to be popular with most everyone, and pick something out of that. And a lot of times early on, again right after the wedding party dance, I'll try to play something maybe a little bit more current, maybe a little bit poppy. For instance, this summer, quite a bit, right after the wedding party dance, I went right into Meghan Trainor's Dear Future Husband. Seemed to resonate well with every age crowd. And then from there, I might step back a little bit into some of the, the olders, maybe Twist and Shout, things like that, before I start, later in the evening, then I'll get a little bit more modern again. But I do like to try to catch something a little bit more current, a little popular, the first song out, just so I don't get that feeling that maybe some of the younger guests roll their eyes and go, oh boy, here we go. He played Pretty Woman the first song. I see the guy's got, gray hair in his temples. It's going to be all old music tonight, something like that.
That's a really interesting dynamic that you're talking about, where we're playing the newer music earlier, maybe not a lot, but just getting that sample out there. Let's go back 5, maybe 10 years ago. how did you handle that early? Did you do the same concept, right, playing a modern song early, or was that more of the oldies, trying to establish the oldies?
Yeah, I probably, you know, back 10 years ago, I probably did more of a progressive, okay, let's start off with the 60s, the 70s, now we'll move into the, you know, classic rock. By the end of the night, now I'm getting a little bit more into the dance club music, but over time I've changed it up a little bit.
Ron, how about yourself in that situation?
I think over the years that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I probably just threw darts to see what people would respond to. Today, if I may ask Mike a question, because I want to talk about something too, but I want to make sure that the audience understands what we're talking about. Can you define wedding party dance? You said after the wedding party dance.
And in our area, it's, you know, somewhat customary after what I call the special moment dances, the mother, son, the father, daughter, then the first dance, to bring the whole wedding party out, kind of kick things off with the wedding party. And then it's immediately following the wedding party dance that we have our first song for open dancing.
So you have a way of you might say greasing the dance floor, in other words, priming the pump, if you will. See, and I did the same thing, but instead of doing a wedding party dance, typically I tell my clients even, I cheat. I do an anniversary dance.
Oh, sure.
Because it's a way of getting everybody onto the dance floor. So since I know I have the older guest on the dance floor, the idea is to try to keep them there, even with the younger guests. So, and a lot of today's music even has been crossing over to the older guests. If you take a song like "Shut Up and Dance with Me," even the older guests this year have been responding to that just as much as the younger guests have. So, you know, I think what we're talking, you know, it's much easier if you have a plan in place where you can get, if not a majority of the guests on the dance floor, a very large minority of the guests on the dance floor in the very earlier part of the evening, then that gives you something to work with, rather than having that empty space for like 10 minutes until somebody finally gets brave enough to come out and join you.
And that's a good point, Ron, and it kind of reminds me, I read a thing a while back about a basketball coach goes in and teaches his players to actually envision they'll just like shoot imaginary balls at the hoop, and just to envision how it's going to fall in, and then it almost falls that way. And with us, I think sometimes if we kind of look at that, kind of envision what those first 3 or 4 songs are going to be, maybe that again is on their request list, some things that we know that work. I mean, if we can kind of, I don't want to say pre-program, but kind of envision what we think is going to work in those first 3, 4, 5 songs, I think that is so critical. And if we can get people dancing early in the evening, they'll follow the rest of the evening most often.
I think it was Todd Mitchum years ago when he was doing his seminars. He talked about the dance floor being this dark, empty space that nobody wanted to be the first to land on, and the way there were ways of being able to get around that. So for Mike, it's the wedding party dance. For me, it's the anniversary dance. You take away that stigma of being the first, and so it makes it just that much easier. People now are not as afraid to go to the dance floor, especially since they know they're not going to do anything to embarrass them or call them out or anything like that.
The Disc Jockey News Virtual Expo is sponsored by DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool. For more information, stop by djeventplanner.com. Top Hits U.S.A., hit music service for radio and professional DJs. For more information, stop by tophitsusa.com. Epsilon Professional Lighting and Sound, an experienced and innovative manufacturer of lighting and sound equipment. For more information, stop by epsilon-pro.com. Promo Only, the industry's #1 source for music and music videos. For more information, stop by promoonly.com. By OMEZ Professional Lighting, new color, new vision, new OMEZ. For more information, stop by omezlighting.com. By Prime Cuts, the #1 service for music for mobile DJs. For more information, stop by Prime Cuts Music, sponsored by Chauvet DJ. Value, innovation, performance. For more information, stop by chauvetlighting.com. Sponsored by PROJECTORGRAM. High-quality designs for monograms, logos, and other image projections. For more information, stop by PROJECTORGRAM.com. ADJ, Pure Lighting Excitement. For more information, stop by ADJ.com.
And that's a big thing, I think, that especially early on, a lot of the DJ stereotypes were people getting on the microphone, oh, be more interactive. So what would DJs do? They would go and they would harass or offend or make some off-color comments.
Or the chicken dance.
Or the chicken. Wait a second, that's my favorite
chicken
routine.
dance.
Yeah. But that was something I think that was very common, and a lot of people just were turned off to DJs and turned off to that idea. And I think we're still struggling with that in many cases, almost 20 years later, that people remember that situation.
Oh,
so that the dance floor is not a safe place. Although I think it's better than it probably was 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I think that I haven't heard the word cheesy used in probably 5 years. It's that word is kind of
cheesy.
Has gone away. Yeah, even saying cheesy is cheesy. I like that.
Well, I just want to follow up a little bit with a point that you just made, John. You said, if they feel like the dance floor is an okay place or safe, I'll actually do something when I bring the wedding party out. I'll ask them, here's what I need you to do. I need you all to walk around in a couple circles. So walk around a couple circles. Now stamp your right foot on the floor, okay? Now stamp your left foot on the floor. What have we just done? We've just tested that the dance floor is safe. Okay, and what I need you to do is all you to go out and find somebody new to bring back to the dance floor, that type of thing, and it just kind of creates a little bit more of a relaxed moment there. So
something like a multiplication dance.
Yes,
it is.
Yes.
That snowball dance that we did with junior high years ago.
Yes.
Like, okay, now boys, go grab a girl.